Hello YouTube, good afternoon. I'm going to reshoot this video by Cold Beer and Cheeseburgers because they got interrupted. But anyway, Cold Beer and Cheeseburgers finally hit the kaboom and the flop button last week. So when businesses fail in downtown Dayton, Ohio, who you going to call? Dayton Mythbusters, because the obvious reality is this building is obviously, businesses cannot make it in this kind of dead zone in a city. And my friend, well, I was down here last week and I seen that this place was failing, and I was down here last Friday and plus it looked pretty obvious that this place wasn't going to make it, that they had taken down almost all their signs, and I spoke with one of the security guards and they were closing it at 2 o'clock, which is almost unreal to think that a place could even stay open like that. So this is another one of these lies and myths debunked about your great downtown Dayton. But anyway, my friend who's a lawyer who actually there you can see the inside where it's closed, who actually works down here. He actually works inside this building, and because I seen him this morning and he did say they are closed, which I'm not surprised because I figured they were going to close this week because the writing was on the wall that you just can't support a business in this just kind of dead zone. Another look at the inside again. So you know, you have all this fluff crap about how great downtown is, when the reality is downtown Dayton is failing from a business standpoint. So anyway, the manager of this building, Sue Zickfus, she's the manager of several of these office buildings at CBRE. Richard Ellis is in charge of down here. There was an article that the Dayton Business Journal wrote about a year and a half ago when they moved here, and you know, she was one of the ones that was excited about them moving down here. The manager of Cold Beer and Cheeseburgers, because of all the riffraff over by their previous location, the RTA Hub by Jefferson 3rd and Main, they thought they would get a more upscale clientele here because of the federal building, which there really aren't that many jobs in the federal building to begin with. And of course the city and the county buildings and the jail and all that, they thought they would get some business from that. And the reality is it just never panned out. So the local media here will not tell you the obvious truths about what is really going on with this downtown Dayton. Here it says closed. Thank you for your support. What support? They never had any support down here. They moved to a worse location because a friend of mine that's in this building, his office is in this building, he said that there's just not enough traffic in this area to support a restaurant, especially a restaurant that's lousy. Because there were a couple people that were commenting on an article from about a year and a half ago when they moved, and they were saying, oh, the food was horrible and their prices are horrible at their Kettering location as well as this one. So these are the truths that the local media, you know, will not tell you about downtown. You know, they won't tell you the actual truth. They have a protected and perverted interest in protecting this downtown Dayton fluff crap. So they want you to believe that downtown is really a great place to be, when in reality it's just a failure. You can count on me to report the truth. You know, the local media will only try and tout certain things, like they talk about. Here's another look inside Cold Beer and Cheeseburgers closed. So they'll tell you, you know, all that, how great things are. It's always the same old crap, as I mentioned in numerous videos about downtown that gets touted. Always Fifth Third Field, always the new apartments, always Schuster Center, Riverscape. It's just the same old crap over and over again, nothing new. And last week they were talking about this new office building, which it wasn't a very big one, which it was really the only way they could do it, called the Water Street building. It was a 3-story office building where PNC Bank just moved their regional headquarters inside of there. It's at the corner of Patterson Monument on the north edge of downtown by Fifth Third Field. So city leaders in that and media wanted to grandstand, say the first office building built in downtown Dayton in 20 years. Well, YouTube, you actually know what? There's a good reason why you haven't seen an office building built in downtown Dayton for that long. Because when you have countless vacancies, like there is all over these buildings, and who in the world would want to build new construction right here in a building like this? Who would want to build a new building with new construction when you have so many empty and existing buildings where there's tons and tons of space? So really, what did they really do with that new building, the Water Street? They could have got that space they needed for PNC and a new bank branch right here. And speaking of PNC, they actually used to have a location inside of this building a few years ago. So they obviously touted opening a bank branch here. So that just tells you the utter stupidity. Why would you allow a new office building to be built anyways when there's so many empty space? But anyway, so I'm going to sign off on this one. So who you going to call when downtown businesses are failing? Dayton Mythbusters, me, because I will speak the truth about this place. I won't be like the media who's going to tell you a bunch of lies. That's it for this one.